In this video, I will show you how to make a fish keychain using 2 covers of yarn, a loom of 18 packs, which is a mini loom from Michaels, and the drawstring cast on method. So to begin, we're gonna tie the yarn on the anchor pack, just with a simple knot or with a slip knot. Then I'm gonna mark my first peg, and we're gonna zigzag around the pegs by skipping one, like this. This method of cast on is used mostly on hats and patterns where you would like to reduce the extra fluff, I guess, since you're gonna need only half of the stitches, like baby hats or other patterns as well. For this, I'm using my 18 pack mini loom from Michaels. So this is my last pack, and I'm going to skip the first one, like this, and I'm gonna hold the yarn not very tight. So we're skipping this one, and I'll flip the second stitch. Again, I'm skipping one, and I'll flip the next stitch. You could keep your yarn only on the front of the pegs, so you won't miss a peg by mistake. Skip this one, flipping only on the side on the pegs that you have 2 strings on. So you flip the bottom on the back of the peg, like this. At this point, I will untie the yarn from my anchor peg and continue with one more row of knit stitch. So with my left hand finger, I hold the yarn underneath the peg, underneath the loom, and just continue with a knit stitch. After I finish this row, I'll do a few more rows, and I will show you how it looks like with the bowstring cast on when I finish. So after I finish with the cast on and did 10 rows of this cover yarn, I'll continue with the fish by switching covers with the next cover that I'm going to use. And for this I'll make a slip knot. And we'll attach it to the first peg for the first stitch. Or the other option is to put it on the anchor peg. If you don't have anchor peg, just to tie it on the loom where you begin with the first stitch. And we'll continue to use the knit stitch for the next rows, but with different covers, switching every one row or every few rows, maybe every other row. We'll see how it goes. So I think I'm going to do either one or two rows of each cover from now on, and I will let you know for how long. So I just finished the whole row with the purple yarn, and now I will do the lime color or the bright yellow color yarn. And we'll continue switching colors for about 10 more rows, I think. Using the same stitch, the same pattern. Well, my stitch got loose, so if this happens, it's okay. You can just put it back on the peg and do it again. And I'll show you in the next when I'm done with the next 10 rows how it looks like before we continue with the next part of my pattern. So here's my count. For the first part I just counted. I did 14 rows with the bright yellowish color, yellow greenish, something like this. And then when I started switching colors, I did another 20 rows with the mixed colors, and I will do one more with the purple one before I start the tail of the fish. So 21 mixed colors. I would like to show you a little trick. Since you're mixing 2 colors, I decided to use along the way one of my little stitch markers, and I left it at the first peg. Okay, I'll get the bigger one so it's more visible. I left it on the first peg, and each time I finish the row with one color of yarn, I just put it on the inside the stitch marker so it won't get twisted with the other one or mix up rows. And each time when I finish a row, I switch color with the other color. So Now I will be doing the purple one, and that will be the last row before I start the tail. So at this point, if I'm about to continue with the next yarn, I will just take the yellow cover out like this and put it inside the purple one, and I will continue with the yellow one. But since this would be the last of the yellow that I'm going to use, I'm going to cut the thread. At this point, you can secure on inside, you can tie a knot with the loose threads, and I'll continue with the purple yarn. So from this row, I'll continue using the purple yarn and ear-wraps only for the tail, like this, from left to right. I'll be wrapping each of my pegs until I reach the end of the row. When you finish wrapping the yarn around each peg, just start flipping the stitches one at a time until you finish the whole row. And again, for the next row of the tail, you push the stitches down a little bit and you do another ear-wrap for the whole row. Ear-wrap stitches for the whole row. And here is how to cast off a project, any project, with a basic cast off or bind off. I already did like 5 rows, and the 6th one will be the cast off. So you move the yarn on the front and you flip the stitch as if you do a knit stitch on the first and the second peg. Then you move the second peg to the first and you flip the bottom stitch over. So now you have to move the stitch that we just knitted one peg towards the next stitch. I'm working from right to left, so I'm going to put it on the next left peg. You can do this in any direction that you like. That's my personal preference. So you continue with the next peg. You wrap the yarn on the front as if you do a knit stitch and flip over. Next step, you get the stitch that we just knitted with the knit stitch. You put it on the previous peg, tie your yarn a little bit, and flip the bottom stitch over the top. And again, you take this last stitch that we've finished, move it to the left one peg, tie the yarn a little bit and do a knit stitch on the next stitch. When you finish, move the last stitch that we just knitted over the previous peg on the right. Flip the bottom yarn over the top and again move this stitch towards your left on the left peg. And this is my last stitch. Here is how the bind off looks like. So here's the body of the fish that I am making on the loom. At this point I'll flip over. First I will check where I would like the eyes to be, and I'll flip over the fish on the inside so I can attach the eyes, the safety eyes. Yes, this will be the spot for one of the eyes, and on the next side and again, if you like to use a pencil cap or a pen cap or something small but sturdy enough to push this down, you can definitely use it. Until you hear like a click or feel. And then again flip the fish on the opposite side. And check how it's gonna look like, and if you like the way they're attached. At this point I split my yarn into two pieces, and I will move one of the strings at a little bit lower spot. So I can tie a knot on the inside. And try to move the knot as much as you can closer to the knitted parts of the body. And I'll cut both of the strings. So now I will get some stuffing for toys or pillow stuffing, and I'll fill the fish. I'm doing this for a keychain, but you can do definitely make a little stuffy for your car mirror, like a small toy that you can put there, or just have it like a toy. And that's enough stuffing. I like it the way it is. So now I'll get the purple thread and some of the plastic needles that come with the looms, and just sew the tail. So I split the thread which I'm gonna use for the sewing of the tail at the end, and I'm gonna make a knot. We'll just start knitting on the inside. I'll I'll go through the last loop that I just made to secure the yarn, and try to sew only on the purple thread from the last row of the body. And pull it out tighter. And that's the finished body of the fish. So this is the way the fish looks like. I still have a little bit of the yellow yarn left, and I would like to use a thinner hook to finish the fish with crochet hook. I believe this hook is 2 millimeters. Anything under 3 millimeters would work. So each of my this yarn has like 3 or 4 strings, so I'll split it in the middle. 4, I think. So I could use the same yarn for the rest of the fish with crochet. A few more crochet stitches so that, as you could see, if you take small parts out and attach like a needle on it, it holds the yarn ball and you can unwrap it very quickly. Unravel just a little bit, and then again attach that needle. If it's a big ball, of course you need to attach like a hook or something, a bigger hook. But in this case you just pull both sides of the strings and it will split. So for the rest of the fish video, I will make a slip knot, tie it, and put my crochet hook on inside that knot. And we'll just go to 1, 2, 3, the third of these stripes of the fish, and pull a stitch out. And do 1 single crochet with it. Then I'll do one chain, and I'll go in the next stitch and do double crochets for a few more stitches. 3 double crochet and the 2 chains in the beginning. Put the hook through the next stitch, take a loop out, and continue with the double crochet. Take a loop through the purple loop, and we'll do one more rows of double crochet on this side. Chain 2, and then double crochet in the same first hole one more time. Then again chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in the next hole. Again chain 2, and in the coming hole I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Chain 2, so this is the end of the fish that I just made on the loom, with a few of the crochet stitches here. And I'm out of the chains, but I will attach a ring. I'll use one of these little things. And here it is. The little fish keychain is done. Thank you for watching. If you like to support my channel, please subscribe, like, comment, or share.